Welcome back. Slip and fall accidents can happen in seconds, but the injuries can last a lifetime. We're breaking down slip and fall personal injury cases, how these accidents can be prevented, and what steps to take if you or a loved one is hurt with the team from the Carter Mario Law Firm. Attorney Alex Mario and attorney and practice leader Carla Minifield join us now. Happy to have you both here.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
So Carla, let's start with homeowners. There's a lot that they need to know when it comes to a big snowstorm like we just had. It's important to clear off their walkways, right? That's a big thing.
Correct. It is important. I think the main thing to remember is during a storm, there is no duty to go out and put salt, sand, and clear. However, after the storm is over, within a reasonable time, you must clear and make it safe for people walking. And especially for property owners, if you have a city sidewalk, most towns have an ordinance where the abutting landowner is responsible for clearing snow and ice. So it's important that you get out there for people walking their dogs or just pedestrians to make sure that it's safe.
Now, a lot of people might be wondering, what is a reasonable amount of time to clear off the walkway?
There's no actual statute, and it depends, right? So it depends on the type of property, whether it's commercial or private. It depends on if the storm ends in the middle of the night. No one expects you to get up and go out at 3 a.m. So it really depends. Reasonable is really a question for the jury. I think for me, reasonable would be if you have a business, clear it for your patrons to come in. If you have a property within, reasonable amount of hours, make sure that it's safe.
Okay, so use your best judgment,
Yes.
case-by-case basis.
Yes.
And Alex, I know reasonable footwear is so important to avoid slip and falls to begin with.
Yeah, you would be shocked at how many people wear flip-flops
Oh my goodness.
during the winter. But you want to make sure that you're wearing appropriate attire. You want to do everything that you can do to minimize, slipping or falling when you're out there walking. Try not to carry a lot of stuff. Try not to be on your cell phone. But for your shoes, make sure to try to wear something that has grips that's appropriate. You're not trying to go out in high heels on the ice or flip-flops or even slippers with no soles. You want to make sure you don't want to be better going off barefoot. Your toes would grip. I don't recommend doing that, but get proper footwear so it grips and you're just minimizing any risk that, extra risk that's just unnecessary to put yourself in.
Right, and Carla, you mentioned something when we were chatting earlier about insurance companies, reaching out to them versus reaching out to your attorney and the timeline of all of that.
I think people have a tendency to be transparent and open, and just remember, if you're going to make a claim, you want to control the narrative. So if you're hurt, you believe it's due to the negligence of another party, I think it's important to seek legal counsel before you engage in conversation with the insurance company.
Okay, and let's talk about someone who unfortunately may have been in a slip and fall. You are the person who fell. Alex, best first steps.
Yes, so depending on how injured you are when you fall, if you can take a video, pictures, but a video is worth 1,000 pictures. So if you can try to take some kind of, evidence at the scene, whether it's, your injuries, look if it's in a grocery store, if it's outside on a sidewalk, show what it looks like, because ice and snow melt, and so can critical evidence. It can fade away. So anything that you can do to try to, if there's witnesses, if you're not able to do that, which in many situations you're just not able to, you could ask somebody that's around, hey, could they please help document it? But make sure you're getting medical attention as soon as possible, whether that's calling 911 or if you feel that you can get up and go get medical help, go do that first. Then you're going to want to call an attorney, because like Carla said, you do want to control the narrative, because the insurance companies, they have their own narrative, and you want to make sure that yours stays true to what happened.
All right, well, great advice for both homeowners and unfortunately people who might encounter this. Thank you both so much for the great tips. You can also visit cartermario.com for more information. We'll be right back.